All welcome everyone to the online course on Essential of Database Management System. In previous video lecture, we discussed ER diagram basic as a part 1. In this presentation, we are going to discuss ER diagram extension as a part 2. Let's start with specialization and generalization. So here, first we must understand superclass and subclass. What is meant by superclass? It will represent general concept, that is the high level. And what is meant by subclass? It will represent specific concept, that is lower level. So the subclass inherit the attributes from this superclass, and it also have own attributes. So what is meant by specialization? It is the top-down process. It means the process of making subclasses from the general concept. And next one is the generalization. So it is the bottom-up process. It means the process of making superclass from the subclasses. We'll discuss with one example. So look the diagram. So person is the entity. The person again subcategories as employee and customer. Again, the employee further subcategories as officer, teller, security. So, person is the general meaning, right? So, here, concept, general concept. Again, we can subcategorize the employee. Again, the employee subcategories officer, teller, security. So, this is the way we are going to identify the specialization. What is meant by generalization? First, we are going to identify the specialization. For example, officer, teller, security. Again, so what is the common name for officer, teller, secretary? That is the employee. Again, the employee and the customer. Again, we are going to identify the common name. For example, person. So this is the way we are going to identify the generalization. What are the constraints on the specialization and the generalization? There are three constraints: membership constraint, disjoint constraint, completeness constraint. So what is meant membership constraint? Determine which entity can be member of low-level entity set. And next one, disjoint constraint. It means whether or not entity belongs to more than one lower level entity set. And next one is completeness constraint. Whether an entity in the higher level entity set must belongs to at least one lower level entity set within the generalization. First, the membership constraint. So here, condition defined. In this lower level entity set, the evaluation of membership is on basis whether the entity satisfies an explicit condition or not. For example, let us assume the higher level entity set student, which has attribute student type. All the entities of the student are evaluated by definition of attribute of student. The entity are accepted by the satisfaction of the condition, that is, the student type equal graduate. Then only they are allowed to belong to lower level entity set, that is the graduate student. Next one is disjoint constraint. Here, whether or not entity belong to more than one level entity set. Disjoint means what? So here the disjoint constraint only applies when the superclass has more than one subclass. If the subclasses are disjoint, then the entity occurrence can be member of only one subclasses. For example, the student is a postgraduate or the student is a undergraduate. It's not both all. And next one is overlapping. This applies when the entity occurrence may be member of more than one subclasses. It means what? The staff is a member of university member and the students also member of university member. And next one is completeness constraint. Here, whether the entity in the higher level entity set must belongs to at least one of the lower level entity set within the generalization. So here we are going to categorize total and partial. Total means what? Each superclass must belongs to subclasses. Partial means what? Some superclass may not be belong to subclasses. For example, total means what? The student is a mandatory either postgrad or undergraduate. In partial, staff is a member of the university or the student is a member of the university. And next one is the aggregation. Aggregation is the abstraction through which the relationship are treated higher level entity. So here the faculty is the entity, student is the entity, and the project is the entity. This all the similar entity we are going to grouping as a single entity. That is called as aggregation. And next one is the review report is the another entity. Now we are going to make the relationship between the project guide and the review report. So it will make the simplification. So now we are going to practice how to draw the year diagram. So this is one of the scenario cases. For example, the university has more number of colleges. Each college administrator more than one department. The department is offering different programs such as UG, PG for the student. The student is allowed to enroll only one program, either UG or PG. The department has more number of faculty members. Each faculty can choose more than one subject based on their choice. The faculty member also teaches subject to the students. The department conduct more than examination on the particular date, time at specific exam hall. The student is allowed to write exam in the exam hall during cycle test or end exam. This is the scenario cases. Sometimes they will give this type of scenario cases. This is one of the example. So then how to draw the year diagram? First read the scenario cases carefully. From the scenario cases, identify what are the entities occur. First segregate and draw. So here university, college, subject, exam, department, faculty, student and program. These all are the entity. So then now this entity is represented by rectangle box. What is the next step? Identify the relationship between the entity. What is the relationship between university and college? Has. It means the university has colleges. What is the relationship between college and the department? The college administrates the department. What is the relationship between department and the program? The department offers many programs. What is the relationship between student and the program? The student enroll programs. What is the relationship between faculty and the department? The department has many faculty. What is the relationship between faculty and the subject? The faculty can choose many subjects. What is the relationship between faculty and the student? The faculty teaches students. What is the relationship between student and exam? And then before that, identify what is the relationship between department and exam. The department conducts examinations. What is the relationship between student and the exam? The student write the exam. So this is a way we are going to identify the relationship between entities. What is the next step? We have to mention the cardinalities between the relationship end. So now, what is the cardinality between university and the college? One to many. It means what? One university has many colleges. What is the cardinality between college and the department? One to many. What is the cardinality between department and the program? One to many. It means one department, many programs. What is the cardinality between student and the program? One student can enroll one program, either UG or PG. What is the cardinality between department and faculty? One department has many faculty. What is the cardinality between faculty and subject? One faculty can choose many subjects. What is the cardinality between faculty and student? One faculty teaches many students. What is the cardinality between department and exam? One department they conduct many examinations, for example, cycle test or end exam. What is the cardinality between student and exam? One student write many exams, for example, cycle test or end exam. So after identifying the cardinality, the next step identify the attributes for each and every entities. What are the entity for the university? University code, university address, and university contact number. Why you are mentioning university code and the underline? It means it will represent the primary attributes. What are the attributes in the college entity? College code and college contact number. What are the entity associated with the department? Department code and department name. What are the entities associated with programs? Program code, program name, and program durations. What are the entity associated with student? Student ID, student name, student mail ID, student contact number, student address. Now here the student address is the composed attribute because student address means composed of student roll number, the door number, state, and city, like that. And the student age is the derived attribute because the age is derived from date of birth. The student contact number is a multi-value attribute because student they will give many contact numbers. What are the attributes for the faculty? Faculty ID, faculty name, faculty department, faculty contact number. What are the attributes for the subject entity? Subject code and subject name. What are the entity for exam? What are the attributes for the exam entity? Exam time, exam date, exam code, exam name, and exam hall. So this is the way you have to identify the attribute. So this is the way you must follow to draw the ER diagram. What are the first step? First identify, read the scenario carefully and identify the entity, then identify the relationship between entity, then identify the cardinalities between the relationship, then identify the attribute for each and every entity. So then complete them. So this is the way you must follow in order to draw the ER diagram. I hope that you will understood this concept.